Hello guys, and welcome back to the PREDICT Football Channel. Welcome back to another edition of this particular show. This is the edition in which we talk about both teams scoring, both teams to score. That is, and for some, I know it as go as well. This is the edition where we talk about a match whereby we think that both sides will score. And in this video, I have selected 5 matches that I think that the 2 teams involved in these respective matches will each score at least a goal in these particular matches. So here we go. The 5 games involved here. The first game on my bet slip is the game involving Aston Villa and Manchester United. Yes, it may be a little bit surprising to be on this particular slip. Some person might find it so, but I do think that this game, even if there is a winner in this game, whoever the winner is, I think the winner will also concede in this game. I think that this game has both sides scoring in it. Probably the winner will have to score more than 1 goal in order to win this game, because the other side, who may end up losing, will also score a goal in this game. The game may also end in a draw. I do not know, but what I think is that these 2 sides will score because they have scoring in them. Aston Villa are a good goal scoring side. They've gone 9 games and they are winning. I've gone on a 9-game winning streak, winning 6 in the Premier League and 3 in the Europa League. And Manchester United, on the other hand, have also won a good number of games. And even when they are losing or drawing, they've also done a good job of scoring goals. And the last time they failed to score away from home was the game against Manchester City and the Manchester Derby back in September. So 3 months later, 3 months on, they've still not failed to score away from home. And I think that particular streak, so to speak, will continue in this particular game against Aston Villa. Manchester United have historically been known to score against Aston Villa almost every time they face off against each other. I think that in this particular game, Manchester United will not fail to score, and also they will not fail to concede, because Manchester United obviously do concede goals. And nonetheless, they are also playing against a very, very good Aston Villa side at Villa Park. So it's expected that Manchester United concedes and scores against this Aston Villa side. So the game between Aston Villa and Manchester United, I see this game having both teams scoring. So that's the first game on my bet slip. Please do not forget to sleep. Do not fail to bet on this one. And also the next game on my bet slip is also a game involving 2 teams from the English Premier League. This is a game between Leeds United and Crystal Palace. I think this game may also come as a surprise for some persons out there, but I genuinely think that this game has goals in it, and I think these goals are going to be produced by both of the teams involved in it. Leeds do not fail to score at home. In fact, when you look at Leeds' home form, you see that they've only failed to score once at home in the Premier League season, and that was far back in August. And they've met all sorts of opponents, from Chelsea to Liverpool to even Aston Villa, even teams like Bournemouth and Tottenham, and they have not failed to score against each and every one of these sides. They've consistently scored. The result may end up not going their way, in the sense that they may end up losing the game or drawing the game, but they do their own part by scoring, and that's what I think they'll do in this particular game. I think they'll score against Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace are Crystal Palace. They are a stubborn side, a hard nut to crack, and they go into every game, in very high spirits and give a good account for themselves. I think they'll give a good account for themselves in this particular game as well. I think they'll score in this game against Leeds United as well, because just like Leeds United score, they also find it very, very hard to keep a clean sheet. In fact, when you look at Leeds' last 6 games in the Premier League, that's involving both games away from home and at home, you see that in every game that they've played in the last 6 games, in every single one of these 6 games, they have both scored and conceded a goal. So I think that this particular game is going to have at least both sides scoring at least 1 goal. We may have one side scoring more than 1 goal, but whatever happens, I think that at least we'll have both sides scoring at least 1 goal in this particular game. So both teams to score. It's my pick here. So this game between Leeds United and Crystal Palace, I think the game will end up having both sides scoring. Who wins? I do not know. If the game may end up in a draw, I also do not know. But what I actually think is a very, very big possibility is that both sides score in this game. So that's why it's on my bet slip. So the game between Leeds United and Crystal Palace is both teams to score match. So the next game on my bet slip, for the next game on my bet slip, I will be taking you over to Germany, the Bundesliga precisely. This is a game involving a high-flying RB Leipzig versus the Bayer 04 Leverkusen. This game is a match between two high-enders. Two teams that of recent seasons have ended up being runners-up in the league. Bayer Leverkusen were runners-up in the league last season, and they are actually champions of the league, the Deutsche Meister, 2 seasons ago. And this game is serving up to be a really, really big clash between two sides that are going for Champions League football next season. And currently, Leipzig are above Leverkusen, but not by much. Only 3 points separate both of them. I think that both of them will try to fight it out in this particular game, and there's the possibility that either of them wins this game. I think that the home side, obviously is Leipzig, but I don't think that the home advantage will really matter in this game. I think that yes, Leipzig have a good home form, but Leverkusen have also done well for themselves. Just like at home, they've also done well for themselves away from home. And I think that they may end up. They have a possibility, they have a good chance of winning this particular game against Leipzig. But one thing I think that will actually do happen is that I think that both sides will score against each other, because like I said, this game has the potential of having a lot of fights in it, because these two sides have potential, have potential to win this game, have potential to produce a lot of quality. So I think these two sides will give a good account for themselves, and both of them will score against each other. I see Leipzig scoring. I also see Bayer 04 Leverkusen scoring as well. So the game between Leipzig and Bayer Leverkusen, I see it having both sides scoring. So that's my pick for this particular game. RB Leipzig versus Bayer 04 Leverkusen, both teams to score. So that's my pick there. Moving on to the next game on my bet slip is I'll be taking you over to the Spanish La Liga. Well, this game historically over the past few years has quote unquote been a little bit mad, in the sense that we've had a good number of goals being scored in this particular fixture. Last season we had one of the ties between both of them having up to 5 goals in the game, with both sides contributing to these 5 goals, and then the other match having up to 6 goals in it, with both sides also contributing for these 6 goals. Then if you move back to 2 seasons ago, one of the matches involving both of them had up to 8 goals in it. 8 goals, yes, you heard me right. 8 good goals in that match, and both of these sides also contributed to these 8 goals. And then the previous fixture also had up to 7 goals, with both sides also contributing to these 7 goals. So who knows, maybe there may be up to 6 or 7 goals in this particular fixture. I do not know. But one thing I do know, or one thing I do think will happen, is that both of these sides will score against each other. Villarreal are currently in a very, very good retrieving form. Obviously, they're not close to Barca in terms of points. They're like 8 points adrift of Barcelona. I mean, no one expects them to be very close to Barca at this stage of the season, but nonetheless, they have really, really performed well. I mean, they are a very good winning streak in the league. They've won at least six consecutive games in La Liga, and they've scored multiple goals in each of these 6 games. And Barca, on the other hand, of course, Barca have been Barca. They've also won their last 6 games the La Liga. In fact, they've won their last 7 actually in La Liga, and they may be looking to make this their 8th straight win in La Liga. So this game is a game that promises to have a lot of goals. Probably both of these sides will end up scoring at least 2 goals each. Who knows? And maybe one of them may end up going on to score more than 2 and score up to 3 or 4. But I think both of these sides score against each other in this particular fixture. Keeping on with tradition, because they've traditionally been good at scoring against each other over the years, and I think that this will continue this particular game. So the game between Villarreal and Barcelona, I think, is a game that has both sides scoring. So both teams to score between Barcelona, or rather Villarreal and Barcelona. And the final game on my bet slip is a game between Wolfsburg and Freiburg. This game is over there in Germany, and this game is promising to be a very, very promising game. These two sides they know each other. Actually, they know each other very well. Wolfsburg are currently below Freiburg, and but not far off from them, but still nonetheless below Freiburg. Freiburg drew their last game against Borussia Dortmund, playing a 1-1 draw against Dortmund. Freiburg have also been culprits when it comes to conceding goals in their games. I mean, the last 6 games that they've been involved in, they've conceded at least 1 goal in 4 of these 6 games, while Wolfsburg, on the other hand, the last 6 games that they've been involved in, they've scored and also conceded in each of the last 6 games that they've been involved in. And I think that this particular trend will continue in this game between these two sides. I think each of them will score. Hence, each of them will concede. I think this game will end up with both sides scoring. Who wins? I do not know. If there will be a winner, I also do not know. But these two sides, I think, will score against each other. So this was the last game on my bet slip, the game between Wolfsburg and Freiburg over there in the Bundesliga. So that was the last game on my bet slip. And I'll be doing a very, very quick recap. So the first game on my bet slip for both teams to score is Aston Villa versus Manchester United. I see both sides scoring. The next game is the game between Leeds United and Crystal Palace. I see both sides scoring as well. And then the third game is the game between Leipzig, RB Leipzig, and Bayer Leverkusen. I think both sides will score. The fourth game is the game between Villarreal and FC Barcelona. I think both sides will score. And then the final game on my best slip is the game between Wolfsburg and Freiburg. I think both sides will also score in this particular game. So these were my 5 picks for both teams to score. These 5 picks amounted to about 10 odds, and hopefully these 10 odds plays come the end of this particular weekend, the 20th and 21st of December 2025. Please guys, before you leave, a quick one: do not forget to like this channel, do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you've come across this for the very first time. Also do well to share our videos like this one and subsequent videos as well. Share your various timelines, share your social media handles, also share with your village people as well. Also do well to give us your suggestions in the comment section. Tell us what you think, interact with us down there. You can banter, but please do that very respectfully. Also hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop a new video like this particular one. So until next week guys, see you and good luck.